Hello and welcome to another reading of Anomaly, How to Finally Stand Out from the Crowd. I've decided that sometimes I will say the book's title in its entirety, the way it's supposed to be, and sometimes, well, I won't. Today we are continuing chapter 20 of part 2. Follow along if you have a copy. If not, you can grab one, zackmillersays.com/Anomaly. This chapter is called The Ranking of Who is Ready to Buy. Could that be you? Here we go. Understanding who your ideal prospect is and isn't can save you tons of time and money during your journey. Some people are ready to jump on board right away, and some people need hand holding. Would you like to hold my hand? Obviously, we cannot touch people's hands right now. That's illegal, but it's you get my point. Knowing the difference is crucial. Face it. Oh, this is interesting. Face it, colon is what it says in the book. Ooh, how deliberate. Most people in businesses are not in the buying mode when you're battling for their attention. This is pretty important. When you want them to buy, they would rather search Facebook and scroll through videos of crazy cats and adorable babies. It sucks, but provide enough value and get them to engage with your content and they'll get nosy and want more. Ooh. Then and only then should you begin step 5 in the sales funnel. We're surrounded by ads everywhere, but when is buying actually on our mind? Sure, we can be persuaded or conned into buying something we don't want, but that's not good business and should not be a practice that you live by. Don't do it, folks. Getting someone's wallet out is different. Remember that stat from earlier in the book? Almost 68% of shopping carts are left with an item in it. It even happens to Amazon. But Amazon is smart. We know Amazon is smart. They built a program that sends emails to people who browse items on their site and reminds them it's still available, along with easy one-click purchasing. Let's think about several locations of businesses or types of advertising and dissect whether people are in a prime buying mode or just being marketed towards. For the purpose of this example, let's rank each out of 5 stars. Ooh, 5 stars. With 5 being very likely to buy right now and 1 star being very unlikely to buy right now. If someone is in a 5-star buying mode, sell to them. Absolutely. However, if they're in a 1-star buying mode, don't sell them. Instead, learn about them, provide value, and help them out where you can. Market to them. Create a relationship. Plant a seed. Plant a seed. I like that line. And a 1-star can turn into a 5-star, but that's up to you. Also, look, there's a picture in this part of the book. Who's ready to buy? 1-star, 5-star. The first option is an easy one. Amazon, the world's leading e-commerce business. If you're on Amazon, you're looking to buy something. Your credit card information is already stored on the site, and you're only a few clicks away from buying what you need. Amazon invented one-click purchasing. I guess they invented it. Who knows if that's actually true? This book is well, I don't want to say it's fake. That's wrong. I believe Amazon. I should say that. And I believe Amazon invented one-click purchasing so buyers don't have to pull out their wallets. Makes sense. You've probably noticed that many internet browsers now capture your credit card information, so all you have to do is select which one, and your information is added to the transaction. It wouldn't be surprising if this was influenced by Amazon and other vendors requesting easier access to buyers' wallets. The less you have to think about spending money, the more likely you are to buy, even if money is tight. So true. Convenience stores like 7-Eleven and Wawa must have close to a 100% closing rate. Think about it. When was the last time you saw someone walk in, look around, and not buy? I would love to know that actual number. It's got to be like 100%. It's not very often, and all these convenience stores need to do to sell is be open and located where people are looking for them. I mean, you pull in to get gas, you get gas. The only way they wouldn't do that is if gas was out. Whether it's gas or a quick snack, convenience stores are a great 5-star buying business mode, or model, whatever. They play to people's needs of gas and food, and they do it well. What can you do to be what people crave or need as much as a necessity like gas? While shopping malls are popular places to shop, historically they were, not every store is going to get business from every shopper. Window shopping is the act of a potential buyer walking through and browsing a store's inventory. A shopping mall is a 4-star for that reason. It's also a hangout spot for teens and young adults. Yes, I remember doing that myself. No longer, though. Many malls are now creating experiences like free concerts, escape rooms, and amusement parks for cheap prices, with the hope that if you come in for the experience, you'll then walk around the mall and buy something. Ooh. Ooh. Malls are typically anchored by a large big box business like Nordstrom or Macy's, and then filled in with smaller retail options in between. The anchor tenants tend to be the businesses that bring in the majority of the mall shoppers. If you can get a retail space in a mall, that is a great opportunity to introduce yourself to mall shoppers and share with them what makes your brand so special. You can take a 1-star opportunity and turn it into a 5-star in the same scenario. Boom! How wonderful. If you're eating at a restaurant, you're already a 5-star. But how often are you upsold an appetizer or dessert? These items are typically, right, because you sit down at the restaurant, you're ready to buy. You're going to buy. If you're sitting down at the store, you're buying. These items are typically cheap to the vendor and cheap to the buyer. One study found that 50% of consumers order a dessert at dinner at least sometimes on a scale of always, often, sometimes rarely, and never. This technique is used by several retailers. If you buy a device that needs batteries but don't have batteries in your cart, the retailer may ask you if you want batteries, and oftentimes those batteries are on the shelf or at the checkout counter. Right? I mean, think about that. Or like if you need gum at your like a grocery store. Radio Shack, remember that old company? R.I.P. Radio Shack. Used to be the king of this. Panera Bread's online ordering system upsells, and I think Panera top to bottom is like the best of all this. In-store, online, their whole system is the best in my opinion. Panera Bread's online ordering system upsells you for items they notice you don't have in your cart when you go to checkout. For instance, if you don't have a beverage, a pop-up fills your screen reminding you that you don't have one in your cart. If you have all the normal items, they may tempt you with a baked good for a slight discount. Hey, would you like a chocolate chip cookie with that? Ooh, that sounds delicious. In store, if you forget a drink or are only getting a drink, they've made it so easy to not even have to interact with a human, which many of us would love to do. You go up, press a few buttons, swipe a card, and you fill up your own beverage. Purchase is complete, scary, but effective. What I want you guys to be thinking about, this is a little off script, actually completely off script, is that we consume a lot of brands. We buy a lot of things from a lot of businesses. What are they doing to convince you to buy from them? And figure out if there's a way for you to do that with your own brand or business. The top brands in the world have figured out little techniques to make their process easier. Looking at your business, why recreate the wheel? It's always so interesting when I have a thought and then I literally read it in the book right afterwards. Here's another one of them. Looking at your business, why recreate the wheel when you can replicate what they're doing? They show you exactly what they're doing, so why not take advantage of it and use it yourself with whatever budget you can? It's not stealing or copying. It's leveraging a process that works. Just document the processes that you go through as a consumer and use them for your own purposes. This works for good and bad stuff. If you hate something, don't do it. If you love something, think about using it yourself. You'll still need to work on your creative side of the process, but the playbook is the same. Examples of 3-star buying modes are a webinar, conference, or an email drip campaign. All three follow a similar methodology in that you find something people want to learn about or need solutions for, and then provide them with ways to learn that information or get the solutions they need. Establish yourself as an authority and then upsell them at the end when you have gained their trust. If a webinar is, let's say, 60 minutes, it's likely to be 40 minutes of education, 10 minutes of engagement with the listeners, and then the remaining time shows a solution based on the education and Q&A. Same goes for a conference, except the time frame is potentially longer. An email drip campaign is typically a series of emails helping the reader learn a new trade and then an upsell of a solution that makes their problems go away. Instead of selling while your prospects are in a lower buying mode, think of ways to encourage someone to learn more or follow your experience. YouTubers are notoriously good at this, or at least those with millions and millions of subscribers. They provide amazing content, and at the end of the video, they ask you to subscribe. Like if you're listening to this right now, simply subscribe at Zack Miller Says everywhere. Just click the button that says, boom, subscribe. They know if you subscribe, you're asking for and want more, and they'll send you reminders to view their content. There are even tricks to add subscribe buttons in the video, so all a viewer has to do is click and they're in. Remember, just click the button right now. Zack Miller says subscribe everywhere. The easier you can make it for someone to subscribe, the better your chances are of getting subscriptions. Networking events, as we discussed, are a great way to meet new people, but they're not a great place to sell. Let me reiterate. As you attend these events, be sure to listen more and follow up later. Don't be one of those people that goes to a networking event and just starts selling. Ugh, God, we hate you. Yes, we hate people who go to a networking event and immediately just pass out those business cards and are like, buy my thing. No, I don't want to buy your thing. Direct mail is a multi-billion-dollar industry. If mastered, it can be highly lucrative, but there has to be a reason for the business or consumer receiving the mail to get excited, like receiving coupons or discounts. Pool Scouts, actually I saw them in my neighborhood yesterday, is a growing franchise business who provide pool cleaning and maintenance services. They have found that target prospects become customers if they send direct mail. It takes up to 6 mailings for them to convert, but it works. They offer first-time incentives and well-designed postcards to only those who deem their targets. Since they have franchises all across the United States, they have to be cognizant. Is that how you spell cognizant? Wow, I never knew. Is that true? There's a Z in cognizant? That makes me so happy. I'm going to look that up afterwards. They have to be cognizant of what a different area is looking for. So people in Wisconsin close their pool for the winter, while people in Florida may never close theirs. Makes sense. Unless someone is really selling to a pain point that a consumer is currently going through, these one-star buying modes should be used to get people in their door and then taken through the sales funnel. You know, it's about brand awareness. Let them know that you exist. A cold call, random office visit, outdoor billboard, and a meeting without an agenda are all going to be one-star buying modes. Again, it's important to know what buying mode a prospect is in. And if they're not in a 5-star buying mode, your goal is to introduce yourself or your brand to them and share something unique about you and or incentivize someone to learn more about you. Restaurants do this by offering a free appetizer for a first-time guest. Gyms offer 1-week free trials, and some online businesses offer 30-day free trials. The idea is to let the viewer or prospect know you're open for business and that you want them to be a part of yours. An outdoor billboard, while being seen by potentially many eyeballs daily, isn't always the best way to advertise, unless you can get it for like super duper duper cheap. When you're driving, you have to see the advertisement, consume it, analyze it, and memorize it all within 6 seconds, since that's about the amount of time you have before you have passed it. And it's not like we really want you to pull out your cell phone and take a picture of it or write it down, because that's illegal and dangerous. And Zack Miller does not condone dangerous activities like texting while driving or taking a picture of a billboard that you see. Safety first, folks. So for your business, what can you do to make a quick impact on your target customers? Think outside the box. I hate that line, and that's exactly why I put it in the book, because we like lines that are silly. The next time you're at a retail store or shopping online, look at the techniques that these businesses use to get people to make a purchase and implement these strategies into your brand. Whether you're selling something or not, these techniques can help you go from zero to hero. Yes. Roadmap. If you haven't yet, by the way, download the Anomaly Method Roadmap at anomалymethod.com, or simply message me and I'll send it to you. Anomaly Method, anomалymethod.com. Number 1, dissect what buying level your targets are in 1 through 5. Number 2, create a plan to get them to level 5. Number 3, devise a strategy to #JustSayHey to introduce yourself to new targets. Number 4, are there add-ons in your arsenal that you can provide at checkout? Think Panera and the old Radio Shack method. Number 5, what content do you have that is popular? Number 6, document your current checkout systems. Find the holes or opportunities and tweak. For inspiration, review the stores and online where you purchase. Number 7, numero 7, which is numero siete. Is that right? I think so. What pain point are your targets looking to be addressed? And if you haven't yet, subscribe to As Zack Miller Says right here where you're listening. Just click the button and go, boom, subscribe. And I guess that's it for chapter 20. Thank you for listening. Oh my God, this whole time I said chapter 20? Oh no, it is chapter 20. And I'd like to also thank Lee Sheridan for his 3 Z's in yes, which I guess is to a cognizant. But I'm going to go check that out right now. Until next time, subscribe at Zack Miller Says. And please, 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 someone do something about this hair. I need a haircut desperately, and I'm not going to shave it. Peace and pancakes. Chapter 21 coming up. Here we go.